Good morning and welcome to the World Curling Federation's Olympic Qualification event 2017, coming live to you from the Košutka Arena in Pilsen, Czech Republic. We see here the lovely Bartholomeus Cathedral along with the Christmas market. Really nice setup here just ahead of the Christmas time. But of course we are here for more serious stuff coming up here in this Košutka Arena. It's about the last two spots for the upcoming Olympic Winter Games in Pyeongchang, Korea. And I'm Oli Kapp, and with me is two-time Olympian and Swiss Arm from the US in 2002 and 2014. We bring you live coverage of the game Finland versus China this morning. We introduce you the team of Finland. It's Jenny Räsänen. Then we have on second position Maija Salmivirta and Ishtar Juhas playing third stones. And on skip position, playing the four stones, it's Oona Kauste.
And for Team China, Ma Jinyi at lead, Liu Jinli at second, Zhou Yan at third, and Wang Bingyu skipping Team China today.
As it is the first game of Team Finland, we will have a close look up. So Finland so far with no games. In the lead, China with one win along with Denmark and Latvia, and then Czech Republic, Germany and Italy. They all three have already one loss in the opening session yesterday. So these are the matchups on the other sheets. We are playing on sheet A and we're playing on sheet C, and B is about Czech Republic versus Latvia and Germany versus Denmark. So as there are only 7 teams in this Olympic qualification event on the women's side, there's always one bye. It's the chance for the Italian team this morning to use this for practice. So they have their bye. So we start in the opening. Anything we can expect from this game, Anne?
Well, I think with the China team already having a game in hand, it was a tough opening match against the host nation, Czech Republic, that they came out victorious. So I really believe edge to China, as they've been out there a full game. But you are looking at the only qualified Olympian already playing in the field. Oona Kauste, the skip from Team Finland, has qualified in the mixed doubles event. She brings a lot of confidence and some great leadership to this Finnish team. Definitely.
There's some athletes coming up like having the chances, winning the first time ever 2 Olympic medals. It's going to be some interesting, but of course, sitting out for the first round, somehow special for the Finnish team. They somehow have to adapt in this morning draw. And the Chinese, as you mentioned before, they really stole away the win from Czech Republic.
The game yesterday, as called and played by Wang Bingyu, a very experienced skip. She was relentless, never giving up. They looked down throughout. So that's the one thing about this Chinese team. Their toughness is second to none in the field. If they get down, they are never out.
Yeah, also quite experienced team. 2009 world champion, 3 of them at least, and also like 2-time Olympians. They played and winning the bronze medal back in 2010 Vancouver Olympic Games.
Yeah, and they came through this qualification event in the last Olympic Games for 2014. So all of this is very familiar to them. And so I think the edge goes to China. But again, this Finnish team is playing very loose, very easy. And I think if they settle in here nicely, they have the hammer in the first end. They've got a chance to put some pressure on Team China and really see what they can do.
So already quite opening game. So not only just playing stones in house, so we already have a setup behind the center guard.
Yeah, that center guard is actually really playing into Team China's favor. As we know, when you do not have the hammer, you want to keep control of the front of the rings. And Team Finland chose to tackle those front stones by going around them. It's sometimes a dangerous choice. Jin Liu, the second from Team China, will hope to make those choices extra dangerous for Team Finland.
Nice freeze on the back red one here. Already line 2.
Yeah, and Finnish skip not showing any worry as we get Maija Salmiovirta with her rock. Only having curled for 9 years, so she came to the game a little bit later in life. But a very talented, highly decorated player.
Just kissed the guard a little bit, but running out, maybe shot rock, but it doesn't matter. So just a quick look on the rules. 6 ends minimum has to be played in the round robin. 38-minute thinking time. So for each team, of course, and there's a 1 timeout in the regular 10 ends. So there will be another one if there's an extra end coming up, which the Chinese team already had to play last night or yesterday against Czech Republic when they were stealing away this win.
This one's curling hard. They just skip by that one guard.
Of course, they wanted to make sure that they pass the guard very close, but of course not touching it. So pretty offensive start.
Yeah, neither team being much afraid of the other one's rocks. This could be a very exciting game with lots of action in the scoring area.
No sweepers. Stay away from the shot. There's some curl to need. They missed this one. We're about to tap back the one red.
Yeah.
This was far away.
Yeah, and it was just a little bit extra weight. This ice, the ice surface is beautiful. It's got great speed and great movement. But if you have a little bit of extra ice in your trajectory choices, added with a little bit of extra weight, that's what you see. A pretty straight running rock that can't do much with.
It's kind of challenging for the Europeans team playing 2 weeks before the Europeans in St. Gallen. There was different conditions in a way of like a little bit more aggressive ice, a little bit more frost out there. So this is very keen, very precise, really good ice, but you have to be very precise in the way you release it. Otherwise it really stays outside and never really swing to the inside.
And a demonstration of that precision by Joyan from Team China. A wonderful hit and roll. Beautifully managed delivery. Very clean, nice, easy extension. Great rotation, pace, and well managed by the sweepers all the way down the ice.
I would say that always has been the excellence of the Asian team, like the Japanese teams before and also the Chinese teams, that they always had a really good technique. But just like sometimes the competition experience or the game experience was missing, giving up some games, some close games, but that's not happen anymore.
No, there's no lack of experience on this team here. And
Ooh.
Oh, that was not how they wanted to peel that rock, but Team Finland starting to address the rocks in front of the ring, seeing that the setup is now so in favor of Team China.
So, a little bit of worry in the eyes of Oona Kauste.
Yeah, just going through her options, thinking ahead, what will happen depending on what China does here.
So it's about for China to somehow make the scoring so very narrow now.
Yeah, I think that guard really, they thought it would curl another foot and a half. So maybe a little bit of mismanagement on that side of the ice, which allows Team Finland to play. The triple might be there.
Yeah, just from the other perspective now, hitting it a little bit on the left-hand side. And we see the next shot. No, on this shot it's the right side, of course. Hitting it half here and maybe run it back, and really good way played, but I think the speed was missing a little bit.
Yeah, it needed a little bit more power to spill those rocks. You can see as this stone hits, and maybe it hit a little too thickly. If they'd hit just a hair less, the yellow rocks would have spilled to a wider part of the rings. But as it is now, it's about to be all yellow in those rings if Wang Bingyu executes her shot.
点右再稍微往外一点，姐，10秒。行，加油。
Wang Bingyu has been curling the majority of her life, coming from Harbin, China, growing up in a winter sports school. She took the World Championship in 2009 and followed that up with an Olympic bronze medal in 2010.
But it's always like when you're giving compliments, well-deserved compliments, of course, but this time she might start this one, and Willis was coming in from the outside, and she missed really by far. And that's one of the things at the early beginning you have to make sure somehow really on the out parts. Really,
yeah, the ice is very fresh. The pebble, the surface of the ice is a little bit sharp, and combined with the bottom of the rock and a little bit down weight and a little bit of inward momentum, there was no way to hold that shot.
So a little bit of a momentum for Oona Kauste with her first one.
Yeah, this
to
is
maybe come back a little bit in this end.
A great opportunity to set up a skips deuce. The two rocks that she gets to throw hopefully will hang on the scoreboard at the end of this end.
So she's not going for a hit, but she tries to place her stone. But it's a little bit from the line, not the way she wanted. Having the backing here.
A little heavy. She sits second shot.
So it's about for China to play now.
She needs to play a draw. China needs to be second shot. Ideally, she can sit anywhere where a double does not allow Finland to score 2 points.
Even could draw to the other side, to the open side maybe. But she decided to go around her own guard.
And one of the reasons to maybe go around your own guard into the center of the action would be to make the rings as small as possible for Finland's final shot. And now Wang Bingyu is thinking about scoring. It should be right around 14-7 for a draw to tee, maybe up to 15 at this point. A couple of rocks going away.
It has been really quick yesterday. You could see a lot of players were a little bit long. But 14.1 split time from hawk line to hawk line. Now they take it back, which is okay. They managed to sitting 2 now.
Yeah, it's a good shot. It forces, I mean, I would think that Team China's goal at the beginning of this game, at the beginning of this end, was to force Finland into a single point and take the hammer back. That last shot advantage.
Well, last stone coming from Ona Kauste. At least she was playing the same shot before. Just needs to follow the pass of her opponent and make sure that she's not overthrowing this one. Let's see what the split time is between those 2 hawk lines, these 2 red lines you can see. 14.1. A bit shorter. Ooh, they have to work it hard. Oh, no, no. You can see 2 seconds less, and in meters it was a lot. And it's a steal of 2. So you're watching coverage from the World Curling Federation Olympic Qualification event 2017, coming live to you from Koszutka Arena in Pilsen, Czech Republic. So the featured game is Finland versus China, and China stole in the first end after Ona Kauste was coming up short with her draw. So miss at the early beginning, and with me is and Swiss Helm. So, and what do you think about some struggle here on the Finnish side?
Yeah, and I think it's a little to be expected. This is their first game, and again, China played yesterday afternoon in the opening draw. By virtue of only having 7 women's teams competing, 7 women's countries competing, someone's always sitting off. And Finland had the bye draw to open the event. And that's always going to be a little bit of a disadvantage, playing a team that's already played an entire game and actually an extra end, as you mentioned earlier, and with a very powerful opening steal. China's starting off very different than they did yesterday, very much in control.
So they were taking over their momentum they had in the end of the game against Czech Republic. So we'll have a look to the other sheet. Czech Republic versus playing Latvia. It's the last stone of the Czech skip, Anna Kubešková. She has the opportunity to score here. It's about making 2, needs a double takeout, and very well played. It's a nice opening.
That's a wonderful start for the Czech Republic team, who had that very disappointing loss to one of our feature game players, Team China. And now we've got one of the unique ruling setups in the sport of curling, the 4-rock free guard zone, and that's a violation there. And a violation occurs when you remove one of those rocks from play. And you can't do that until the 5th stone in play. So Team China puts it back.
So it's up to them to really place the stone where it's supposed to be?
Yeah, I think the spirit of curling, kind of the mantra that the players play by and that the sport is run by, that you really are trying to do good things. And when a foul occurs, the athletes in the field of play really do take care of the outcome. If it becomes really challenging, they bring an official out. But oftentimes you see the athletes handle everything themselves in a very professional, kind, and sportsmanlike manner. So with that fouled stone, though, Finland's playing now with only 7 stones.
Yeah, yeah.
So
again, we see a nice setup from Team China. Oh, they're already lying shot rock, front 4, then having 2 guards in front of the house. And Finland, you know, they're down 2. They have to ask themselves, rather we try playing offensive, going around themselves, or even open it up.
Yeah, and I think Finland needs to realize that they don't need to go crazy. They're only down 2 points. It's very early in the game. This is a 10-end game. There's lots of time.
Yeah, you're right. That's all the things about, like, you really have to be patient somehow. It's not like taking too much pressure on yourself and try to tie the game early. Just be patient, and then your chance will come. Of course, you have to work for those chances. You have to make good stone placement, but I think there's plenty of time.
Yeah, and it's about executing the simple shots just one at a time. Don't upping the level of difficulty. It's a simple takeout, it's a hit and roll, it's draw. Get down to the basics, get comfortable with the speed and the ice surface.
And it's even more simple for us to talk about that. But being down there is somehow more challenging.
Yeah, it's a little bit easier from behind the glass, as we used to call it, but from on the bench or up in the booth. And but that's what makes this game so exciting. That's a wonderful view from where we've got it, and I'm not sure that we've missed any shots from up here yet, really.
So they tried to run this one back, but managed.
They get it.
Good one.
Really great shot. So a clean run back.
It's good. It's very important to really celebrate also these shots, even if it's not running really well at the beginning. You somehow have to come back, see the line call, really sweeping, keep this one on line, and manage to run the other one too.
And shots like this in this moment, when you did have a little bit of a struggle in the first end, that leads you to confidence in where you're setting the broom, how you're making your choices in weight, the number of rotations you're putting on a rock, and then how your sweepers, shooters, and skip are calling that shot and communicating it, knowing you can make a difficult, high level of difficulty shot. Really builds confidence.
Yeah, it's one of the key elements, I would say, in curling, that it's not about only the player playing the shot. It's about like 4 people involved, like really creating or making the shot. It's holding up the broom, building the target, then the player has somehow played to the target with the right weight, with the right rotation, as you said before, and then the sweepers really work this stone to the place where it has to end. Yeah.
And this moment right here that we're seeing with Team Finland, the player in the hack, the players on the other end of the ice wanted to try something different than what their skip was. So they had that discussion. They are yelling at each other down the ice, but it's really about communicating effectively and quickly. It's a loud building, and they're looking to get a little bit more out of this shot, open up the center, and make the run back.
Jenni, siis kun Ester sanoi mulle, kun mä näytän tota kiveä,
And I think the idea there was so that they left their skip an open shot.
Yeah. But still, Team China is about in the driving seat, I would say. It's like they really can build up the end. They can place their stones, and it's up to Finland to react on these situations.
Yeah, Finland is still chasing. When you're making 10-foot run backs,
something went wrong before.
you're still chasing, and that goes back to that free guard zone violation at the beginning of the end. As soon as you lose a rock out of play, and it was like you never got to throw it. Again, you're playing with 7 stones to Team China's 8. You're going to be chasing most of the end.
And even if you have last rock, as Ona Kauste has, there's still a lot of guards in front. You somehow need to find the way to getting shot rock. Still some to go. 3 exactly. So it's the last stone now from Ista Juhas.
So, and she's going to get another try at this, and I think this is a really nice call. It rolls to the corner side where Finland has control.
Other option will be playing even like the front guard, run it back to the other guard, and maybe open up the whole. Yeah. So at least make sure to run away the own red one. So that happened. So just close to the house. Could be a biter, like biting the blue circle, the 12-foot. That would be okay. Even short to the house would be okay. Just closing the pass to the shot rock.
Yeah, they're really trying to take full control of the area in front of their stone in the rings.
This looks a little bit heavy and looks a little bit
wide.
Right, yeah, widest.
The line's getting better.
I would say you can live with that. It's not too bad.
That's a pretty good shot. I think it's going to be hard to get to the right place to make the double and keep your shooter.
Yeah, it would be an option. The problem is you don't have a real angle to really run on this. You could go over the guard, that would be an option, but that's a really difficult one to run the guard back to the double, to yellow lying there in the 4-foot. But the other would be the other option, draw.
Yeah, I really would like to see Team Finland play the draw here, and they can go to the back 4. They can go to back 4 behind those staggered guards. The way that rock finished there that we just saw from China, it has nice curl.
It's not a crazy curl out there, but it's still possible. So now they're discussing these 2 options. The straight run back, or maybe there's another one, maybe just like really tapping something back, one of it. Could be the 3rd option.
I think she's going with the run. Front end is looking down, talking about what they see and what they experience.
So as we mentioned about the thinking time before, 38 minutes every team has. So right now it's running, the time is running, keeps running. So these are the times you can, of course, spend some time on these discussions, important situations, but not too often.
Yeah, and what you don't want to do is use all of your time in the beginning of the game. I think beginnings of the game are where you need to play quickly. You need to allow all of your experience and your gut to guide you out there. And when you get a little indecisive and start taking a lot of time, what ends up happening is it puts pressure on you in the second half of the game. And as we can see, Finland's already used 2 minutes more than China in their thinking time.
Now they have to keep this one straight to have a straight hit, and she missed it really closely. That was, ooh. You can see her eyes that she's not happy with that. Couldn't be happy. Just a little bit on the right-hand side, and then.
Yeah, she really needed to hit that almost directly on the nose. And now this gives China really a good chance to almost guarantee scoring. If they can get this rock into the top of the forefoot and cut off all access.
Yeah, either like playing the guard, almost the same position as the stone before, or even like drawing into the forefoot on the a little bit on the other side.
Yeah, I think I'd love to see this one go into the rings, and I don't know that there's they get that top 8 foot almost to the forefoot. Team Finland would have a tough chance of scoring.
This looks heavy, and this stays outside still. I think they were just going for guard, but is running and tapping back one of the yellows here. But that's what you said before. It is now in the ring, probably not plan A they were going for, but the outcome is okay, I would say.
Yeah, the outcome is okay.
Is there a run? Getting rid of 2, 3 maybe?
I think that's what they're looking at.
Yeah, hitting the yellow one on the right-hand side, and really, yeah, you can maybe play a triple takeout here.
Yeah, and the way it's set up now, you might be able to keep your shooter and still score a point. I mean, which.
Just wondering, the eyes looks a little bit much, though they're going maybe for another one. I would rather recommend to hit the first one on the left side from this perspective.
Yes.
So she's maybe going either not with a heavyweight takeout, or she's trying to Invik double on the first one and then running over to the right hand side.
I think she might be trying to hit the nose and push the outside one, but we'll see. That's a great look at the options.
Just make sure you're not too much on the outside. You really hit straight on the nose, at least. And this stays left. No, no, no. Yeah.
Yeah, she had to get to the inside there.
So, another steal of 2 for Team China. That's not the right way for Team Finland to start this game, this first game in this Olympic qualification event. So that gives China a huge lead of 4 points after 2 ends played.
Never before in the history of the World Men's Curling Championship has the stage been so spectacular and the backdrop so electric. A never-before opportunity to watch the best of the best on ice and soak up everything else you love about Las Vegas, including the first ever 9-day pool party. Reserve your place in history now at LasVegasCurling.rocks. Las Vegas 2018. Your curling oasis awaits.
So, big lead of 4 by China. Finland is struggling in the opening ends of their first game. China already having 1 win versus Czech Republic yesterday in their opener.
Yeah, and China really had a gritty, hard-fought win. They were down and chasing the entire game and came up with a couple of very big steals at the end and somehow came away with the opening draw with a win. And the team that showed up here today is really all about precision execution. And they're showing that with a 4-point lead.
So give us time to have a look on the sheet side with Germany versus Denmark. Germany also really struggling in their first game. Now we see another trouble end here. 3 yellow Danish stones are lying shot rock. And Daniela Jentsch needs to hit to have the single here. She's going for the heavy one, maybe having a chance for a double, but that's the one at least. So the lead here, they were using the hammer at least for scoring one. So we're going back, and the another uptake, Czech Republic line 2, and we see the Latvian skip. It's Ivita Starsune,
who had a beautiful opening game against Italy yesterday. Needs another delicate little shot down into the forefoot. Sweeper's working hard. And just wrecks the top guard, and they end up with a score of 1 in that end. Czech Republic up 2-1, taking the hammer into the third end. In our feature game, it's a pretty standard setup. Rocks in the middle for China and rocks in the wings for Finland, looking to generate some points using corner guards.
Oh,
China's
really nice roll. When it runs somewhere.
Yeah,
That was probably not the plan, but again, like losing one shot in the middle, but that doesn't matter. They get rid of the corner guard and then
actually create a perfect guard in front of their own stone.
Maja Samuel Virta playing another corner guard. Need to make sure that there's some distance between those two reds. Makes no sense to really leave them far in front, so they create another angle, get it a little bit closer to the house. But already Wang Winju is looking for an angle. No, she's not. I thought so. She's just peeling off from the inside.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, also good. These are the things, probably on the men's side, you could see some teams there might go, but sometimes it's just like, be patient, just take the easy one, make sure you make
she
this.
She might have it.
Or even this, okay.
Yep. So she knew that she wanted to get rid of the top one, get rid of the top rock, played it in such a way that she might get the right action to double peel.
So well, maybe we break it down to the basics about the end plan for China is about really to not give Finland the opportunity to build up an end for maybe getting 2 or even more. And Finland, they, as you said, they're chasing for the opportunities. They have to build them. They have to create. Oh?
Yeah.
Vielä pitää saada kiven verran nousemaan. Vielä. Vielä. Hyvä Maija. Hyvä Arja.
And that was a nice shot using the Chinese guard to their advantage. For Finland to get a rock buried in the rings. That's got to feel very hopeful at this point. I mean, that was, again, the shot that they needed. Well called, well executed.
Shu Yan has to peel off the own yellow guard, but that's, of course, as you said, their plan. They want to have a free run. That's Perttu Pilo, coach of Team Finland. So no Olympic experience so far on the women's side. Not to forget about the silver medal in 2006 Olympic Torino Games, where Markku Supavaniemi were somehow surprising with their silver medal, losing the final to Brad Gushu.
No, that's a wonderful shot there. We get a look at Tan Weidong, coach, longtime coach for the Chinese women's team. One of the friendliest faces in the rink.
Chance for a double takeout here.
Yes, there is. And that's a great shot. Now, I think Team Finland needs to still recognize there's some opportunities there for them. The corner guard is still there.
A really nice line call. And the sweepers work it right to the point where they want to hit. Yeah, it's like they need to try, really. Make sure they place the stones, create maybe some failures on the Chinese side. So they don't look like that they have problems executing their stones. Now they have to work it really back here. They don't need to be shot rock right now. They just have to place it for the moment.
Yeah, they just are trying to get rocks in play. They need some traffic in which maybe China runs into, or that the Finnish stones run into and hang around. Going under center like that and leaving a little bit showing, Finland might get an opportunity if China goes to take that out. They're going to play down weight, though. They're shot one. They're going to play a draw.
I think they just follow this pass, sitting in front. They're thinking of maybe just hitting it and running out would be also a nice option.
Yeah, you can see half that rock. You're up by 4 points.
Yeah.
I think that just peeling that rock and rolling out of play would be a good choice, but so now with this choice, actually, it's really a precision shot, a location shot. You don't want to set up a double. You don't want to sit too high and create a real good hiding place for the Finnish skip.
So weight looks good, but they need to wait this one to curl a little bit more. The line is not right there. Oh, might be overthrown a little bit. At least, I'm not sure about that. It's close between the red and the yellow. Who's second best stone?
Yeah.
But you were talking about the traffic now. That's about the traffic Finland was hoping for. They have a good backing here with the red and the yellow.
Yeah, it's really, those are the kind of shots I think, those moments as a skip where you say, oh, I'll just come down to it, I'll take it out of play that way. But you don't need to. You could see half that rock. All you needed to do was fire at it and make it go away back of the rings. And Finland has no catchers. You still have control of the scoring area as Team China. So now this looks a little bit friendlier for Team Finland when we look at this. If she can get a nice guard in there, a nice rock in play, under cover. China's going to have a hard time getting it out.
14,3 varmaan hyvä. Tai 14,5. Voima vaan! Voima vaan! Tilaan! Voima vaan! Etupuna! Jop! 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 Kova! Takapuna! Missä? Missä? Ei! Ei!
This
A little heavy.
Yeah, but they have their backing. It's not perfect, but still way lies okay, I would say. But just having a look at the stats so far, Ona Kausta definitely struggles a little bit. We have a look on the other game, Czech Republic, Latvia, Anna Kubeshkova playing her last. Another chance for getting the deuce here. She needs to hit this yellow one, make sure passing the guards. Controlled weight takeout, coming with the clockwise rotation now. A little bit shaky, doesn't matter as long as the line is good. They were really struggling at the European Championship, and this looks much better, really well played. So they advance to a 4-1 lead now. Give them a solid base to build on.
Keltainen on parempi.
Really nice command of draw weight for Wang Bingyu from China.
Niin. Siis meidän pitäisi päästä tähän melkein päin. Vaan mietin, että jos me tullaan vaan...
If they somehow manage to really pass by this yellow one in front, the one guard and then the one in the 8 foot, and maybe hit it straight back, they have a chance even touching the red one here that maybe stays. So give them momentum, but still I would say the front and the yellow one in the 8 foot would count then.
Yeah,
but
this is a shot for one. She actually needs to throw the exact same shot she just threw. The exact same draw.
Just tap it back.
Yeah. She needs to move that rock 1.5 feet. Not even.
Ei saa, kun meidän kivi on joku, onko se 3. vai mikä se on? Siis et se meni silloin jo huonommaksi kuin niiden kivi. Niin,
Me jonkun verran harjattiin sitä, että...
Joo.
Et sitten...
So it's about really finding the right mixture between the line and the weight, not overthrowing it. I mean, you weight the right. There's not this crazy finish here. It's really great conditions, just not so aggressive as we had this 2 weeks before the Europeans. Same chief ice technician Mark Allen from Scotland is in charge.
Now we get a look at the line, the stone curling. Trying to hold the line, get by the stone in the top.
Nope.
Oh, and the frustration is apparent for Ona Kausta. So close, just millimeters in this sport, and China steals another point, and it's 5-0. Last rock advantage to Finland, playing the 4th end coming up next.
So, nothing new from this game. China opens. 4th time in a row now. Having a comfortable lead, 5-0 versus Finland. So Finland really needs to find a way, get back into the game.
For teams in this position, when they just can't really get anything going, and as the frustration and the tension builds in their communication, their body language, their shot selection, this is when they really need to come together and remember that they actually enjoy doing this, that this is something that is fun when you get it going. And it's really critical for these 4 women out here for Team Finland to kind of find the joy of putting the rocks in play, calling the shots, the simple things. This is their first game. They need to settle in. If they don't get a win here, they need to take something positive from this game into their next games.
It's probably about now to delete the first ends now and just get it started now. Reset. Now we go. Just focus on just making the shots. Don't care about the result. Actually, just finding their way back in the basics in the game.
Yeah, simple. One rock, one shot, one call, one sweep at a time.
No, it's mine.
Some discussions going on. I didn't get this. Wang Binchu was like, maybe they were touching the stone, or maybe
no,
something happened.
She's
no?
looking. She's missing her gloves.
Oh,
so
really?
she was wondering if Ona Kauste might have picked them up by accident.
So picking up this stone, it's great, eh?
It's a beautiful shot, and those are the moments they need to really connect with when they do execute.
Yeah, will be the option. We're just pointing.
Yeah.
There could be just peeling off the one red guard. Maybe running to the inside. You can do that. You don't have to really run out of the rink, but
yeah,
it would be an option. So they rather follow this pass, playing a draw.
Yeah, Team China is sticking with a fairly aggressive series of shot calls.
They keep on rolling, I would say. No need for them to change. It works so far. And when you play the rocks like this, it's all good. For another opportunity to watch the Germany-Denmark game. It's up to Madeleine Dupont playing her last rock. And she needs to hit that for making the deuce. And that looks solid, that looks good, giving them the lead for 2-1 after 3 ends played. Just having a look here, Emira Apes, but this was the date. So, on our rink, another miss.
Yeah, and that's where we talk about the tolerance a lot in the game of curling. What is the tolerance? The perfect shot is this, but the tolerance is light, the tolerance is a little heavy. And that shot there, you know, the broom was set for a lighter weight. They threw to a higher tolerance, and it just wasn't precision execution, and end up going right by and not changing any angles, not adjusting anything for themselves.
So the worst case?
Yes, it was the worst case, and as we call that, it was the dreaded silent hit.
Okay.
No noise was made, no context for the rocks, and now...
And now it's about like Finland wants to create something, and they might be in the position to really open up again, because then otherwise this ant will go really weird. Yeah.
Yeah.
Peeling it from the right-hand side.
Yeah, running...
So she's not going for the peel. She wanna playing hack weight on the just plate Chinese stone and roll with the shooter in the house. That's an option, but still leaves the other guard and no possibility to really get rid of the other two yellows.
And they were close on that. Close for what they wanted. Nice guard by Joyan.
So now Una Hauste is looking for the angles to open up the center. Problem is that she might even run. She has to go over the top of the second yellow stone, closer to the rings. Otherwise, one yellow would stick to the right, to the blue, to the red one. Now we'll see. Okay, try, but still one corner guard remains. So it looks like that Finland again is always one shot behind. They always
they're just chasing. They just can't get the advantage. And again, in every end they've had a full miss, or the free guard zone violation, the full miss here in this end.
And on the other side,
China is capitalizing. Every time there's poor rock placement by Finland or a missed shot or a half-executed shot, China is following
and playing
with
good.
a fully made shot, playing really, really steady.
So there might be a run through when you play a heavy takeout. Let's see on the maybe go in the middle and maybe run. It's very close gaps. There's a possibility when you rocks lying like this, like same altitude somehow, and there's some space in between. Heavyweight takeout, you can run through it. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't think there's enough space on this one.
I think so.
Just a little tight.
Yeah.
But I think about which one she wants to run, and I actually like this outside one. It gives her a better chance to get rid of the two yellows and keep her red rock in the rings, but we'll see.
This is outside. Yeah, that's
just
about
wide.
The pushing. Yeah.
The good news is she's now got a red rock to run back there if she needs it. It's
something to grab for.
Yeah, I mean, you got to look at the upsides.
But of course, China tries to close this run, or maybe playing around this corner guard would be an option.
Yeah, they could be just guarding with that that ice.
Yeah. I would say so. They need to sweep this one for the line. And the result is okay. Even if they tap back the red guard a little bit, but they close really. Yeah. What do you think? Just tapping the red one, getting that shot rock?
There might be a way in there now. You can see it's not easy, but you might be able to get to that red stone and just tap it. So taking a look at the Czech Republic versus Latvia. Latvia looking to blank this end with only an open Czech counter in the rings. Looking to hit and roll out and retain the hammer.
But
they get to nose over curl, they take one. Czech Republic takes the hammer and a 4-2 lead into the fifth end.
So where it is running for Czech Republic in this game, we have the timeout here. Finland was calling, so it's about the coach Perttu Pillo to give some advice. So what about our Finnish skills? Not perfect yet. So we try to catch some ideas, but the way they're pointing, they're looking angles to somehow maybe open up this and get a chance later on. Yeah. Hitting the first yellow on the left-hand side, catching the other on the inside, and maybe even run the red one to the house.
Pushing the red one into the rings. They're looking to get a lot of production from a single rock, and they need it at this point. They only have 2 left, and
so time already runs. The 1 minute is over. Thinking time starts running again. So as we can see, Finland is still okay. That's no problem so far.
They are still okay in time, but they know that they need something positive to happen this end. This is the end they need it. It's good to call the coach out. Might be normally a little earlier than you'd like to.
Let's see. Good weight on this one.
She must be close.
But the result, not what they expected. No.
Just the wrong side of the millimeter on this one. She just needed to hit a little bit of the second yellow shot.
Yeah, she's kind of one of those days where nothing really works the way you want to. Ona Kauste takes it with humor. So that's probably also one thing you really have to, it's the first game. Of course you want to win, of course you want to perform well, you know that you can play better, but in the end, come on, it's one game out of 6 you play here, and it's not the end of the world yet.
It is not the end of the world. This is, and now it's about, again, I mentioned it earlier, it's about finding the joy of putting the rocks in play. And I think with that little kind of demonstration we saw from the Finnish skip, they... You can see the work being done by the coach's bench. They know that this team needs to find a connection to the ice and a connection to their performance in order to bring it into the next game, and to also just keep pushing here, because you never know what can happen. There is still a lot of game left. Team China's trying to make a choice here to make scoring as difficult as possible for Team Finland. And they've elected to play that out-turn side, come right into the forefoot, really make the scoring area as small as possible. And force Team Finland in a very challenging in-turn.
Where's the place to draw? Maybe tapping back, or are you going through? Is there a hole to go through?
I think you might be able to go through the port. Ono's looking at the upweight.
So the port will be like passing the yellow, the two yellow in front of the house on the left-hand side, and in between the red and yellow, something really narrow.
It's a tough shot, but they need to execute a tough shot. But
the option they are looking for, maybe tapping it, playing on the two red, and maybe get one into the house, but the angles are not lying good for that.
The angles are really tough.
More for a hit.
Yeah, they're definitely talking about playing a hit at this, and looks to me like it runs into the rock on the top of the forefoot and bounces out of play. And now they're looking at the other side of the ice if there's anything there.
So no timeout left. They have to find their own solution. And as it looks like, they're going for the hit. But this probably not working if you go really with a soft weight, just tapping it. I think when you wanna hit, you have to find the angle to somehow fire it in between the two yellow in front, and maybe hope that there's an angle on the back one too.
Yeah, you might be able to hit the back side of the yellow on the top of the forefoot and bounce, but it's really difficult.
But the ice they're playing, it's more like hack weight something.
Yeah, hack weight.
And
maybe thin across the top and hoping it spins into the forefoot. Drags a little bit and the rock will spin into the forefoot.
And that's a really, really narrow pass. Giving up maybe 3.
Yeah.
We'll see. Let's hope maybe she has this momentum where she can show playing excellent shots. Ona Kauste, last shot in this fourth end. Needs a really good one. But this stays far outside. This needs really to curl, to not miss completely. Now gets a little bit, gets another one, and it's looking good, but not good enough. I think another 2 for China. A good attempt, actually. The weight was perfect.
Really good attempt.
But yeah, she needed to even hit less.
Yeah, with more weight. I mean, it was a really nearly impossible shot.
See there, they needed to sweep that one,
but
probably we were not looking at the right angles. Anyway, so it's a comfortable lead, 7-0 for China after 4 ends played.
Never before in the history of the World Men's Curling Championship has the stage been so spectacular and the backdrop so electric. A never-before opportunity to watch the best of the best on ice and soak up everything else you love about Las Vegas, including the first ever 9-day pool party. Reserve your place in history now at LasVegasCurling.rocks. Las Vegas 2018, your curling oasis awaits.
You're watching coverage from the World Curling Federation Olympic Qualification event 2017, coming live from Pilsen, Czech Republic, and the featured game is now China versus Finland. It's a huge lead by Team China, led by Wang Binju. The Finnish team really struggling in their opening game. They had a bye in the first one. And somehow it's not working for them. Mentioned earlier already, and that they, it's not about winning this game anymore. I would say it's rather try to somehow adapt to the ice, somehow find some good shots, some good results, take it over.
They really need to start just kind of paying attention to the very basic components of this curling venue. What the ice is doing, what the speed is, how much movement you're getting one side of the sheet to the other. Start talking about the things that will help you in your next game. And it's not that they have to give up here, but I think if you connect with those basic elements of shots and performance, you'll remember that you know how to play this game and that you can make these shots. And that's what could help you get back here in this game and will definitely lead you on to success in your next game.
So we'll have an update for you. Germany versus Denmark. It's up to Daniela Jentsch with her last one. Already lying 2 shots. Good opportunity to get the lead by scoring 3 in this 4th end. So that looks pretty solid. Controlled sweepers. Anna-Lena Jentsch and Pia-Lisa shall make sure to get this red one also to the other 2. So 4-2 lead now for Germany in this game after their opening loss against Latvia yesterday.
Okay.
Back in our featured game. Probably really similar setup. Finland tries to create some momentum, some opportunities, whereas China has control of the game. Just need to make sure that those opportunities are not gonna happen. Peeling off the guards, having a clean scenery here.
Yeah, China has the luxury of being able to make half shots or quarter shots simple.
Jenny Rasanen. Tries to come around, but not managing it, hitting the guard, but stays in front of the rink. Actually, it doesn't matter. So now the trying to hit and roll.
Liu Jinli with a hit and roll.
Really good. No need to really be fully behind the red one. Just closing also the pass for maybe playing a come around. And of course it was not Jenny Rasanen, already Maija Salmi-Virta playing. Second stones, it's the force now for Finland.
Yeah, and now we're seeing a little bit of a strange call, looking for a made shot, but playing a hit. And they really need to just kind of lob rocks into the rings.
Not like this, but maybe they were listening, not to us, but maybe of their inner side they said, okay, come on, break it down, make the easy shot, just get something on the scoreboard. No need to really go for big end. But of course, you can
But when you're down by 7, you probably shouldn't be hitting. You probably should be trying to just put rocks in play and say thank you to China when they put those in play, and use those rocks as your friends. See them as your friends and kind of nuzzle up next to them, say, hey, how you doing? Thank you for being here. And then play the hit later in the end.
So, where is the nice guard played by China? We have a look to Czech Republic versus Latvia. A good opportunity for Anna Kupeshkova, scoring 2 now. They already have a quite comfortable lead, having the hammer here in this 5th end. Now, even can build up their lead. Another draw, already lying 1 shot. Looks a little bit heavy, but pretty much in control. And here you go. It's a 6-2 lead for home team Czech Republic. It's a nice way to go in the 5th end break.
And on our feature sheet, Finland hit and they overcurled, hit and rolled to the wide part of the rings in the back of the 12-foot. China's going to take advantage of that. Even with a 7-point lead, feeling no need to hit that rock back there.
That's kind of the difference right now. They still keep on going, placing the stones.
Yeah,
and
just aggressive,
Yeah.
aggressive. Their foot is on the gas, Team China, and they know that they are getting the execution and that Finland is struggling to hit the right spots, get the angles right, get the weight right, positioning right, and they're taking advantage of that.
So probably no need from Team China to really adapt their game. Sometimes it's not so easy when you have an early lead, a huge lead, to really defend this lead. You switch maybe in defensive style, and then you just playing takeouts, heavyweight, and then you somehow lose the feeling of the game. They keep on going.
Yeah, they found the gear they were comfortable in running at, and they are sticking with it. They are peeling corners and the simple stuff. They're doing the simple things at the beginning of the end, but once they have opportunities and want to put the pressure on to a couple of players that maybe aren't making as many shots as they normally would, they're trying to do that. They're sticking with that plan.
So really heavy sweeping to keep this passing the yellow, and another miss here. Just touching. A good result anyway. Okay result.
Yeah, it ends up in play, 2nd count. It's going to force China to think about it.
Just on the guard, but rolling, as we can see here from this nice perspective, hiding behind the corner guard. So what to do now?
Okay. 行，我刚刚给你上面给你的这个点，然后旋器稍微小一点吧哈。咱俩这个得给它擦到快6尺，这样大也没事儿，擦大了。刚才专业点那变多少？14秒。
So I think they've elected to throw the guard or come right in. There's a couple of different options that are all good. Staggered anywhere in front of their own yellow is really good. Short of the rings would be good.
but no really need to attack the red one. The backhand still has fun. That's good.
Yeah, and I think
They were listening to you. Maybe this. Have fun on the ice. Enjoy your game.
It really is important to know that sometimes, you know, we're talking about fractions of millimeters, a little bit of space that they missed a shot by, and they get a 0 out of it. So, yep, and China comes right in, taps their own. Really lovely shot position, forcing Onakauste and Team Finland into a pretty tough scenario.
I can't see any run here. Let's see again. Now the sweep from the right call. They know they were sure passing the guards and then put it right in there, even create a little bit of tap, just enough.
Get to the inside, create a stagger that makes it difficult.
Ne laittaa suojan. Sitten me ammutaan sillä suojalla sitä. Niin se menee. Ehkä.
Yeah.
There's a couple of options up in front that aren't good, and but Onakaste needs a big end.
But no really chance for her to get shot rock at the moment.
No.
She's really need to build up, maybe for having the lucky punch later on with her last.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things. When you're down in the game, you do not need to be shot every shot. You need to be shot after the last one. And it sounds simple, but you forget and you start to get panicky.
In this case, she only has 2 shots to go now,
Yeah.
and there are 2 yellow, 1 lying shot. So I think she's going now for just going in between the 2 yellow and somehow create maybe an opportunity to run back later on and to get rid of the yellow ones. So we'll see.
Yeah, the angles are still in China's favor. So Finland needs to change the angles and try and remove one of the Chinese counters from the forefoot. You can see that is a tough setup for Finland.
But that's not going to happen. So she's like Onakauste, really just try to place one now in between the 2 yellow, and then hoping there's somehow a way for a run with her second one, with her last one. So the line was quite good, and tapping back this yellow one, it's, I would say, a good opportunity, but yeah, and there's still opportunity for China to get rid of both of the red, or?
Yeah, so now with that, the placement of that rock, the double takeout is available to China, and if that's well executed, then Finland will have a double takeout back for a single point.
At least a single then, at least one on the scoreboard. But it's a long way to go. Only 2 rocks to play in this end.
Yeah, the good news for Team Finland is there's a couple rocks left here, and then they get that 5th end break. And they get to maybe clear their heads, share a little information with their coach and their alternate, and set some goals for themselves for the second half of the game.
This hits a little bit too thick, and suddenly
there's an opportunity for 2.
Yep. But question is where to get. I think you really have to. Is there a hack weight, something just passing the guard, and just backline weight, or going with a double here? I don't think this will work.
Sitten taas jos se on ihan meneekö toi tuolta ohi?
I think the only chance she has, but she's not even thinking about, because I think there's 2 less finish. Yeah, that's what she,
Niin tässä voi
her
olla
third
tupla, mutta se on
Esta
niinku
Juhas is pointing out,
aika
maybe
hipoin
with a
tosta ohi.
light takeout
Mä en
weight,
tiedä saadaanko me toi.
try to tap
Ehkä se
back
voi
the
olla
shot
hakilla
rock
saada.
and somehow stick with the shooter here.
Nouseekohan se
And
tosta?
yeah,
Nouseeko
maybe
se
before they
tosta?
were talking about the somehow opportunity to get two with a double takeout in front, but then the shooter rolls again. So
Yeah.
I think this is the better option if there is a chance.
Well, they've seen all the rocks down this path, this end, so they should know how to play it. The sweeper should be familiar with what kind of pace they need.
Niin mä oon ihan samaa mieltä, että siitä helposti heittää kokonaan ohi. Harjoitellaan nyt hyvä määrissä.
So there's really less you can see on this one.
I think they're playing
Maybe
the draw.
just a draw. I think it's just about getting on the scoreboard. No really chance playing for the deuce here.
Pitäkää tee, se pitää olla ihan...
But she needs perfect draw weight. She needs the button.
Joo, saa viedä. Saa viedä, suunnan takiakin pitää
And they
viedä.
also have to go for the line now. This starts the curl. They need to pass the yellow one. And not hang around here.
They can
And
bounce off it a little bit.
but they're running, and that looks shot rock to me, unless the camera angle is probably not. It's close.
It's very close.
Ei ehkä riittänyt se. No, kato se. Ehkä se oli just siitä viimeisestä pyörähdyksestäkin, että olisi pitänyt saada puoli senttiä. Voit mittauttaa.
So they go for measure. I think it's in this situation it's much better. So I think the Zhu Yang was going for pointing on the yellow. Of course,
Se on niin vaarallista. Se, siis se niinku pienestä kiinni, että...
So what's your bet?
Harjalla painettuu sen viimeisen pyörän.
Looks it's another look here at this draw that we're about to see measured.
Pitäkää tee, se pitää
She needs a
olla
little bit better than the full forefoot. At the end of this path, it starts curling hard, curls hard, 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 and just ticks the Chinese counter in the top of the forefoot. Rolls in a little bit.
actually really well played. Just the line was
Really
not.
is
yeah.
well. It
Yeah.
was a well-thrown rock. So we're going to get a look here.
So there's a little bit between 2 and 3, and I think my bet is on the yellow.
Yes, I think it's the yellow. Yes, it's the yellow.
So unfortunately, it didn't work out for her. A good try getting the one on the scoreboard, but it's another one for China. It is the 8-0 lead for China after 5 ends played. So we'll have a short break here. 6 ends at least to go. We'll be back. So, coming up with the highlights, here's the try for getting rid of all these 3 stones. But Ona Kauste was a little playing inside out, no line for this. She needs to hit it on the right hand, if not on the no side. So that was rolling out. A steal for China for 4-0 lead. And then in the 4th, and she really was going for a challenging tap, but also missed it. Another steal here. 7-0 lead for China. So that's not running for her way this game. Her opener, and China really sitting in a comfortable position. The 5th end, we just had a difficult shot for Ona Kauste. Really almost needs to get to catch a piece of the button. The weight was good, but the line just a little bit narrow and hanging on the yellow one. And due to measure, the yellow was better, just about centimeters. Comfortable lead for China. And give us the opportunity watching Germany-Denmark. It's the last shot of Madeleine Dupont, and we see the red is lying shot. Germany is leading 4-2. And Madeleine Dupont tries to go through this port here, and they need to sweep a little bit for the curl, but it's not making, so she hangs on the guard. Steal for Germany. Good lead here, 5-2. So all the other games, it's a 6-2 lead for Czech Republic versus Latvia after 5 ends played. The 6 ends already on, and then our featured game, 8-0 here, and then 5-2 lead for Germany versus Denmark.
Mitä tässä niinku oikeastaan tekis? Haluais vaan, että sais niinku jonkun hyvän.
Joo.
Silleen niinku.
Ei, ja nyt niinku tää oli tämmönen alku. Nyt pitää vaan vähän niinku unohtaa missä me ollaan, pelaa vaan sitä peliä. Tää on sitä samaa peliä, mitä kaikki on pelannut.
男孩可能的防球安8一到8，但他可能控制能力要强一点，然后扫兵控制要好一点。
对，我7号没啥问题，然后8号的话我没投入专业市场地的时候下线了，然后就觉得可能不是很大，7、8可能也有点。
And now we get a look at the playing percentages for both teams, and statistically the story matches the scoreboard. Finland struggling in the 60th percentiles, China executing at a high level in 84% total, but towards the 80% on hits and 86% on draws. And stolen points is the story of this game. Bingyu Wang and Team China never had the hammer, and they don't want it now. 8-0.
Okay.
So, you're watching coverage of China versus Finland in this Olympic qualification event for the 2018 Olympic Winter Games coming up next in February in Pyeongchang, South Korea. And this game is really one for Team China. They're about to win their second one. They're about to really have a good base to build on. Getting one of those tickets over for the Olympic Games.
Yeah.
Just one athlete already qualified. That's Una Kausta from Finland.
Yeah, she is pre-qualified for the mixed doubles event and desperately hoping to bring her women's team with us and play in the women's division. And they're going to need to let a lot of this game go. And
so better forget about what the result is. It's just like we mentioned it before. Somehow make some good shots, somehow get the feeling, probably not this way, just throwing it to the house. Should be a corner guard here.
yeah, that's just one of the trickiest shots. I talk about it pretty regularly, that first rock in the 6th end on the fastest points in the ice, that inside out coming home, just slides into the rings, and it allows a very high performing Chinese lead. An open takeout.
Yeah, also well executed. Just needed to make sure that she's not jamming on the own yellow one. But it's all good here.
Yeah, but it's very common to see the rocks traveling about 6 to 7 feet deeper than you want in this end. And you see that with the Chinese leads rock into the back of the 12-foot. The Finnish leads first corner guard into the top of the rings, just 6 or 7 feet longer.
But what's the background about this? It's just like the ice is speeding up, or is it more like you just after the pause, you're speeding up yourself in a way of like...
No, the ice definitely changes. The ice adjusts a little bit. The wonderful ice technicians run what's called a mop during that fifth end break time. And what that does is it prevents the frost from building up, but it also kind of evens out and generalizes the ice surface in a way that actually makes it just a little bit quicker when you come back. So
whenever you play those games out there,
you've got to remember to slow down. slow down on those first couple of shots in the sixth end. And Jin Liu, who's having a wonderful game, executes appeal with ease.
We did see the lead really good showing up, but here probably I don't want to say the crisis starts here on Team Finland, but Maija Saimio-Virta already like this 55% is like really low already.
Yeah, and she's playing against a player at 86%, and that's just a really, really difficult battle.
So we have a look up, Czech Republic versus Latvia. It's up to Iveta Stasa-Starsune playing her last rock. They're struggling a little bit after their win yesterday against Germany. Czech Republic is really doing well this game. Only chance for getting the single here. Oh, they were going for, here they work it into it. Here you go. 3 to 6 out of their perspective. At least catching up a little bit. Oh, it's also a very expensive shot, we would say. You don't want to be too long. They tried to pass the yellow one in front as they were tried to freeze it first, but then they were through the rings.
Yeah, so that's just a communication error.
Yeah.
The sweeper's really needing to let the skip know exactly where it is.
So we are having a 75% play by Shu Young.
Just a very steady game. Nothing extraordinary, but she's been playing just very consistent. And a really strong end, helping her put rocks into good spots.
So maybe we explain how the scoring works, like the statisticians, how do we get that? It's a point system in the background?
Yeah, it's on a scale, and you have a performance scale of 1 to 4, and if you make your shot perfectly, you get full marks, and over time that adds up, and then it really is a stats-based game. So, you know, you can see a nice battle here at third, similar percentages, but the stats-based game, it gives players information on what they do, which turns they throw, what shots they throw, and at what level of execution they're having. And you can separate all of that data and use it to help build your game plans, help build your tactics. What are your team's strengths?
So what about this? The call was like freezing or come around, so there will be maybe a 3 or 4 in this case. Yeah,
they might give full marks, but that shot was just a little short.
And the line maybe a little bit not perfect so far. Still an opportunity to get rid of this red one. So it's a 75% shot.
Yes.
Which is
out
a
of
3. And the total miss would be just a 0, also like 0%. But they can catch the inside or not. No. So probably another 3 here on this shot.
Yeah, I think so.
So, even if there's no really hope for Finland to somehow tie this game or getting back into it, they have to go at least this 6 end.
Yeah, the games are required to be a minimum of 6 ends. Curling is quite a unique sport in that if you feel that the score is out of reach, you can concede the win to your opposition. But you must play a minimum of 6 ends. And I think it's smart for Team Finland to keep pushing a little bit here because they need to get familiar with these ice conditions. Now they will, you know, with this lopsided score, if they quit too early, they will not see what the ice conditions do in the latter half of the game. So this is actually really important to kind of be pretty determined to play, I think, a couple of more ends.
They have another important game going on, starting from 4 p.m. this afternoon versus Italy. So it's about, yeah, also getting the catching up the rhythm. They already were sitting out yesterday, so somehow they need to get into it.
Yeah, they need to play as many shots for as long as possible. So, and they've got a nice little setup here. China, having put rocks in play, is giving Finland some opportunity. And China's keeping the weight down on some of their takeouts, which, you know, they had an opportunity on the third second to really just kind of rip all the rocks in the back of the rings out of play, but they got very delicate and ended up just tapping. So now, skip Wang Bingyu.
So quite solid game, 83%.
Very steady game. But again, her windows have been quite big. Like the areas where she could land a rock, she had lots of opportunity. They had such control of the setup that there wasn't a ton of pressure on most of Wang Bingyu's shots. And now all of a sudden, as the pressure's upping,
things are not running perfect, we would say.
It's not quite as simple.
Yeah.
So, there's an opportunity here, a really good opportunity for Finland to score the first multiple point end of this game. Well, the first score of the game for Finland. But a really good opportunity. This is the first good opportunity.
So maybe just tapping the yellow on the red a little bit and lying better. I think there's no really roll to the inside maybe, but just leave the yellow open for the next one.
Yeah, I think you do want to try and tap to the inside a little bit, just a little bit. And what you hope then is that China has to deal with rocks here and that you might have a double, rocks in the center of the rings.
So she really needs to make sure to tap this one or hit this one on the inside. Of course, it's no really hit. It's more draw weight here. And then comparable, like 35%. That's really... Ooh, she had difficult shots, we have to say. But,
yeah, they were really high level of difficulty. But she also missed some open ones and just...
And again, this really curls, and she's on the guard here. Oh no.
Oh, that just could not have spun to a worse spot.
Yeah, it even like leaves the double now, or?
Yeah. But I don't know that China even needs to throw the double.
Yeah, because the two red somehow build a backing for the own shot rock.
Yeah.
Maybe just plays another one somewhere.
I think you might see a timeout here.
That could be just winning the game, this shot maybe.
This is a moment where I think China needs to look at the scoreboard.
Yeah.
We are up 8-0. Play the double. I think play the double.
Yeah.
Giving up 2 here.
Just to really avoid the chance if there's any opportunity. Yeah. Even if they just get rid of 1, it's still difficult for them to somehow go for a deuce here.
But they're going to stick with what got them here. So they're going to stick with what got them here. They see that those red rocks are going to make it.
As long as you feel comfortable.
Yep.
So, playing another draw.
Right into the top of the forefoot.
Yep. I think they already go for jump on the alternative B. They see the line is not good. They're far outside, and now they... Oh, I was wrong. Okay, they keep the line. I was a little bit wrong on the line. Now you have to work it from the weight. And they're sitting in front, but let's see.
There's a chance that you can just pick that across the top and take 2. There's a chance for Finland to take 2. It's very difficult.
So another replay of this one. They really have to work on the weight and on the line. I thought first it was a little bit outside, but it really starts swinging in.
Yeah, I think she was a little outside, and the sweeping is really to carry it for distance, and then it ends up a little more distance and a little more curl, and it ends up in a really good spot.
So difficult one here. What they're looking for, maybe just the draw coming from the outside to the button, because this hard chance. I was thinking of maybe there's like a run back, like going for the just played yellow one and etching it off, and somehow hope that 1 or 2 the red shooter stays along, and one of the red in the back. But really difficult. The angles are not good, and maybe she's just going for now. I want to score now.
Yeah.
Just play this draw to the button.
It's still pretty tough draw. Getting around that rock and the 12-foot.
Well, she needs half the button now. Let's see. Oh, I think they were not playing a lot on this side so far. They have to make sure that line looks good.
Weight looks really close if they can get it to curl.
Oh, it's too long. Oh, no.
Just a little heavy.
That's really unfortunate. No score here for Finland, and here it comes. They had to play 6 ends, and it's not fun like being down with no score. She was hoping for. So it's a solid win, 9-0 for Team China. Second win for them. The first loss for Finland. They have a couple of opportunities, 5 more games to go. So it's all good. So Skip's gonna be asked to sign the score here. Everything is formal. We will have a look. The other game, Germany versus Denmark. Germany lost the opener against Latvia yesterday. Quite disappointing for them. And it's running better this game, having a 4-3 lead so far. But the situation in the house is not good. Looking for Germany. It's the first stone played by Daniela Jentsch. She needs a run back on this red and the blue, running to the one in the 4-foot, the yellow one. So needs to hit the red one a little bit on the outside. Just make sure it's not too far outside. Now keep the line on Annalena Jentsch, and this looks solid. And even the double here, almost. Quite good result, really good. Flying shot now. So.
Vi ligger med toeren. Der er hullet, eller der er ren rundt.
Madeleine Dupont and Mathilde Halse playing second, or playing the lead stones, but being in the house as vice skip when Madeleine is playing her last rocks. So there is a chance maybe run through this port. It's a very narrow one. But if they succeed, they would lie 2 shots. The other option would be like also racing one of the yellows in, or maybe play a come around. Decision is not made yet. Team is grouping, so it's also Denise Dupont asked what he would like to play. He can see some team talk. Decision is made. We will see what the call will be. So they are trying to get through this narrow port. Hit with the out turn, with the counterclockwise rotation. Just make sure you really have a straight line here. That's the port. It's really close. I think it's just as broad as the stone is. Oh, they need a little bit of curl. It stays a little bit on the left-hand side, but I think this is just opening up, which is okay. Still 1 shot to go for her.
Sollen wir einfach legen für 2? 2 reichen uns ja, oder? Ja, ich würde sagen so.
I think it's a good call from Daniela Jentsch. She just said, well, there is an opportunity to get to this yellow in the back of the house. Then we would lie 3, but also risk that we miss it maybe. So there's no really need to go for it. We can just lie, go for the 2. Yeah. That's good. A solid 2 is perfect in this situation for Germany. They already are 2 shots ahead. Would give them a comfortable lead of 7-3. So last stone of Daniela Jentsch. Ask them to really keep it clean, a little bit, straighten it up at the very beginning. The weight looks good. Looks all solid. Well played. Here's the deuce here in the 7th end for Germany.
Nee, ich kam mir nicht so schnell vor und der ist auch gleich weggekürzt, deswegen dachte ich.
Altså, jeg kan ikke sige andet, end at vi får ikke bygget en skid op, fordi at vi ikke kommer til at presse dem fra starten.
Nee, wir brauchen auch nicht mehr als weil ich erst mal überlegt habe, wir hätten ihn probieren.
Never before in the history of the World Men's Curling Championship has the stage been so spectacular and the backdrop so electric. A never-before opportunity to watch the best of the best on ice and soak up everything else you love about Las Vegas, including the first ever 9-day pool party. Reserve your place in history now at LasVegasCurling.rocks. Las Vegas 2018, your curling oasis awaits.
Vorne 4, schaut kurz aus.
So welcome back
Ihr habt alles weg.
to the live coverage from the World Curling Federation's Olympic Qualification event 2017, coming to you live from the Kosciuszka Arena in Pilsen, Czech Republic. We switched the featured game of Finland versus China. It was a huge win for China, the second, 9-0. The final score here after 6 end played. No chance for Finland to come back. So we switched to the game Germany versus Denmark, and it's a lead by 7-3 for Germany after taking 2 in the 7th end. So it's up to Denmark to somehow catch up in this game. Denmark also won their opening game over Italy.
Yep.
So Pia-Lisa Schöll is playing her second stone. Try to reach the front house.
Pia-Lisa has a couple of jobs that are unique. She throws the lead stones and then calls the final rocks as the vice skip for the skip.
So it's the same on both teams?
Yeah. So as we get the player comparisons here, Pia-Lisa has the edge. Both struggling a little bit with some of the touch shots.
So
but nicely placed corner guards, very level, looking to generate a couple of points here.
Typical setup for, you can see like the different end plans of those games. You see Germany now really try to peel off the corner guards played by the Danish team, and the Germans of course just try to build up a situation in the house, defensive style, to open the end.
Yes, and this is sister to sister. Anna-Lena Jens throwing a beautiful double takeout to her sister Daniela Jens. So a little bit of switch of tactics here for Team Denmark, moving from throwing guards to trying to throw a little down weight hit over curls. Crashes on the German stone in front of the rings. the player comparisons here. Edge goes to the Danish second. Now she has an opportunity to go around that corner guard as just ticked by the German second. So that stone just really light out of hand. You saw the sweepers working right from release. Really nothing they could do to get it to the rings.
Unsere zwei Pilkönige.
And that rock over curls completely and misses both those guards. As we're taking a look over at the Czech Republic, Latvia. Last stone for Team Latvia. Looking for full 8 foot. Well executed right into the 4 foot, and it looks like 2 points go on the board for Latvia. They edge a little bit closer. Czech Republic with the advantage still, up 8-5, and the last stone advantage going into the 9th end.
Ja, komm, Bumper! Bumper und sonst tickst du den.
So they decided to play it tight, playing it down weight. If she happens to hit the guards, that's okay. But they're looking, the primary goal is to get the rock in the rings. And well thrown after that complete miss, coming back with a very big made shot. Emira Abbas.
Sehr gut.
So, Denise Dupont. And somehow kind of reaction following this good stone of Emira Abbas, who is replacing Josephine Obermann in this game. They already did at the European somehow. The young Emira Abbas still could play junior curling. Really quite good of the Füssen Curling Club. The junior program runs well there.
Yeah, and Denise had a nice rock there. It went completely undercover. So the German team's gonna handle that shot by freezing on top of it, trying to out-count it and use it as a back guard.
Was meinst du von innen nach außen? Was habe ich sonst so gespielt? Okay.
So
Minimal kürzer, huh?
just checking
Ich meine,
up
da dumm im Weg rumlegen wäre ja auch schon was.
what the split time is. She asked the players, tell me what I was playing before. It's all about the communication. Everybody involved should know what the task is. So they need a kind of a little bit of tap back here of following this pass.
Gets over that line and really starts to move, really starts to curl. This looks like a nice rock if it's got pace.
It's just that you really have to work it as long as possible, that they lose it in the end. So the yellow stays shot rock.
Ja gut, aber das muss ja, wenn ihr mir 0 sagt, muss ich doch 0-7 spielen können mit Vision.
Det ved jeg sgu snart ikke. Måske skubber på et eller andet. Det er bare så vi gemmer nummer 2 i stedet for bare at skyde åben.
In the end, Daniela was not really happy about the information she got for the split time. Well, that's the way it is somehow. Maybe different pass.
Ich soll 0 spielen. Und, ja.
Just probably a little bit. To me, it looked like a bit loose release, like not really a lot of rotation on it, and they somehow really stopped. It was not running in a way. They worked it from the very beginning, but they couldn't make it. They're still like 1.5 meters missing.
Så ligger den bedre den nede i bagkanten.
So good opportunity for Denmark to somehow getting back into this game.
Skal man have den nede i bagkanten med.
Flying shot rock already. First though now from Madeleine Dupont.
20 stadig herude.
Playing a draw, come around behind this red one lying in the 12 foot. Or even going. No, she's coming from the outside, yeah.
Yep. She's going to the center.
Linjen er god. 9. Ja, på linjen.
Go hardening, that means really sweep it a lot, and they need it from the line. And they just made it. Well swept here.
That's a really good shot. And it forces Germany, I think, to the freeze. And, well, she's been struggling with
both, you can say.
Both shots, you can see. So that's got to be a relief to make such a nice draw in a pressure situation and give your team an opportunity to score multiple points here.
Interesting, she's not following the same pass. She's going like from the center, trying to get there. Of course, there's a bigger space to somehow get shot rock now, but also a little bit of risk that you have to go through different kind of shots.
Yeah, and this is going to be, this is a mental kind of a test. Daniela just received information that she didn't agree with from her front end. Now they've got to run that same process, share information, and Daniela's going to have to trust it again and really try and throw to the precision.
Also like coming from the other side. Oh. They really need to make sure that they pass the one in front, and I think this will be on it. And now at least they have a little bit of momentum. They were talking before that if we get on this, we have at least a little bit of backing. It's not so easy to get rid of the red, but it's still possible even to get the 3 here.
Yeah, that rock looked just a little soft off her hand. They didn't panic at first, but you knew it was going to curl in that spot. And now Denmark has a really nice opportunity to score 3.
Niemals von außen drauf gehen, niemals.
Yeah, she's like really unhappy in a way of.
Yeah, when you have a 7-3 lead, you know you can put it away. And look at how many rocks are in play. They had 2 wide open misses out of 1 out of their second, 1 out of their third, and then the skip misses, and all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's just like I don't want to talk about like really problems, but they were doing a little bit the same as the Europeans. Somehow really having a big end, and right the following end was not good, so they're somehow matching. I think it's a little bit a mental thing where they're challenging. And now it's the opportunity for Denmark. What's she doing? She got this, and she got the 3. Here you go. It's a nice comeback. But I would say just because also like Germany is leaving them the chance. So here we say 6-7 out of Denmark's perspective after 8 ends played.
Never before in the history of the World Men's Curling Championship has the stage been so spectacular and the backdrop so electric. A never-before opportunity to watch the best of the best on ice and soak up everything else you love about Las Vegas, including the first ever 9-day pool party. Reserve your place in history now at LasVegasCurling.rocks. Las Vegas 2018. Your curling oasis awaits.
In den Tod. Ich komme an nichts hin. Vor allem irgendwas verschieben, aber doch nicht.
So, I'm Oli Kapp, and you're watching or listening to the commentary of our Swiss Helm and me. We're featuring now the game Germany versus Denmark on this Olympic qualification event. The last 2 tickets, both on the women's side and on the men's side, for the upcoming Olympic Winter Games in February in Pyeongchang, South Korea. 2 tickets still available. 7 teams on the women's side and 8 teams on the men's side chasing for it. And quite a momentum for Denmark, I would say for both teams. Denmark is coming back with a 3-ender. Now see the scoreboard down here. Germany is still in lead, having the hammer, keeping the hammer. And yeah, really not well played the end before by the Germans. Comfortable lead and just some misses in the back end leads to this score of 3 for Denmark.
Yeah, and now it's a 1-point game. The advantage is still to Germany, obviously winning the game and knowing that Denmark's going to try really hard for the steal or the force and take the hammer back.
That's about the momentum changing in this game. Like, you're having a lead, you're expecting you now running it, finishing the game somehow, and then it just happened then Denmark is getting the 3, and now you have to still keep on running.
And now Denmark has quite a bit of confidence. They're putting rocks in good places. Their body language is easy. They're talking to each other. They're sharing information in an easy, comfortable, confident way. And the German team seems a little tense after really there were missed shots from all 4 players in that 8th end. And 2 big misses out of the skip that are really impacting them.
And they still keep on going. I mean, like just placing the rocks. I don't want to say I would play different, but the style they play, they're really looking for. They want to go something, make an end. So maybe it's more about forcing now or getting the blank now and going home with hammer. So let's see. Maybe they try opening up again in the end. Setup looks a little bit better for Denmark right now. Having a center guard in play, another red one somewhere lying in the center front house, and having a good free situation close to the forefoot.
Yeah, and this rock is really moving. It's going to tick that center guard.
And now I'm having a little bit of the German perspective on that. Now it's about really playing a solid game, peeling off, keep it simple, clean the rink here. It's all about focus now. Get back to the basics. And not like this, where you just nose it.
Yeah, just a little bit of a struggle. Anywhere on the outside edge of that rock, and all three rocks, the shooter and the two object rocks.
At least you want to make sure that your shooter moves, even if you just not get rid of two yellow. But this is probably the worst case scenario what she was playing. But still, you can have a miss, but then the next regroup and then go for the next shot.
Yeah. Well, after a miss, as quickly as possible, process what happened, why, go, forget it. Learn from it and then leave it, because you do have to throw another rock. And
so again, I would say, yeah. Sisters talk. It's about asking how you would like to play that. That's probably not the perfect in this situation. Just trust your player. Also, there was a miss before. If she's struggling, you can see she's really nervous on that. She knows she's really a good player, but just like it's a mental thing right now. So this is much better, but again, lying up one, that's the one she needed before. Okay, but at least they open up the left-hand side a little bit. But coming to this, it's not only about like talking about the others. You also have to accept that in this situation, the end before, you were doing some mistakes yourself, and somehow it's the whole team. So it's not about like shaking the head and doing this and that about the situation. It's about, come on, we need to have solutions. We have to find the right way to really, win this game, because we're really in the position to win it. It's still all good.
Yeah, and one of the things that happens when a team has some struggles, when there's a little bit of missed execution, is that the communication becomes tense. And I think those are the moments that you really have to remind yourself that everyone is trying to make every shot they want to do as best they can.
That's quite good outcome for Denmark. At least give the roll now from the outside to the inside. But you're right, I totally agree on what you're saying, just about the,
And it's easy to be clean and clear and concise in your communication when you're making the shots. But what you have to remember is that you need that more when you're missing in order to pull yourself through. So changing your attitudes, helping yourself and your teammates make the shots is really, really critical. So trying to push the negativity away and bring kind of a positive energy into the next shot is vital. And all of that stems from the leader. That stems from the skip. The skip's kind of attitude, body language, how they communicate, the pace, the intensity, can really pull a team through challenging moments.
Definitely. So here Denmark is losing the shooter, unless, no, it's not coming in again. Okay, they're trying to split up the situation in the house a bit. They're not happy about the yellow is just lying on top of the red one, so they want to catch the yellow one a little bit on the inside, even tapping back the red one and splitting it up, running with the shooter maybe inside, sneaking in there.
Just create some separation from the yellow and the red rocks. Move the shooter underneath the guards. Looks a little light.
And also outside so far, they need a little bit of curl.
Better line now.
Yeah. Just a little bit light, as you said. The line was not good for really sweeping it from the very beginning. And the opportunity to,
Yeah, those are the kind of shots you got to really throw them. Because you've got to move some granite around. You're moving
even like
80 pounds of granite.
Yeah, 80.
So you really need to, and you're trying to bounce, you can afford to throw back 8, back line weight at those and really get that separation.
Jeg tror alle 3 ryger. Ja, hvis det kan lade sig gøre, vil det være rigtig lækkert, men det er svært, her. Men vi prøver ad.
And this is an opportunity here to take advantage of the rock placement. I think just hitting it right on the nose, Denmark sits 3 in the rings. Both German stones should go out of play.
Well, that looks good. Really good weight. At least the situation for Germany is a possibility to play both the double and the roll, but just make sure it's more important even having the roll really go.
I don't know that she needs to make this shot though. This is one of those situations. Someone's scoring. The blank is gone. So go for your 2.
Yeah.
Skip stones, draw 1 underneath this cover, and be done with it. You've got the full forefoot.
Yeah. Could be the option, but just like you, maybe if it's not it's about like, okay, you don't want to come in the situation when you probably have to draw against 3 or 4 in the 9th set. That would be the only thing I would rather recommend, because the situation is there. Either go for the double, that would be okay, or maybe having the roll. So,
right. I think in the 9th end.
But it's also very important that they don't lose the shooter in this situation. And that looks really good.
Really nice shot.
Yeah.
Just beautiful.
Probably a right answer on the missed shots before. In this situation, good line call as well.
Really well played.
Could be an opportunity to really maybe lying 2, or maybe just tapping the red one and lying shot. So option, but they're going for a takeout.
Yeah, they're going to take this out.
Well, that's from the technical point of view quite okay. I mean, if you put up a situation where Germany has just the opportunity to score 2, to score 1, sorry, you have to maybe in the 10th end have the opportunity to come back, at least go for
the extra end.
Extra end when you provide your score 2 again. So, but this really needs to curl. This really needs to curl, not. And is it getting out? Yep.
It hangs around. It's second shot, but.
Seriøst, det spor der, den rykker sig ingenting.
Probably hard shot for getting the use here for Germany.
Normal 2 vorne sein, reicht im normalen Leben. Men wir können den schon spielen, aber er ist halt nicht einfach. Ja, eigentlich der Runback für 2. Aber ich meine, dann hätte man einen Hammer, wenn er nicht läuft. Weißt, wenn er nicht kommt, haben wir zumindest einen Hammer.
So they're taking the risk. They were thinking of, okay, usually it should be fine, like just drawing, being two up without hammer. That leaves you for a really good situation, even if the extra end's coming up. but scoring 2 now, the run back is not so difficult, even if you have probably having the one here. But, well, risk versus reward, that's all up. The Germans going for a little bit more risky shot. Maybe they benefit from it when they score 2 here. Are you happy with this call? No? Not
I'm
happy?
happy if she makes it. I'm happy if she makes it.
This curls a little bit too much. No, 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 no. So here's the steal. Here's the tide of the game. Overcurled. And another time. That's this mental part now. Denmark is getting closer and closer. They're really close now. They tied the game after being 4 down. And probably from the mental point of view would be just better. Score now, make the draw when you need it.
Yeah.
And now she has frustration.
Yeah, now she's got disappointment, and Denmark has confidence.
Et er også fint. Skal bare gøre det.
So final end is on. We estimate there will be no extra end, as it's a tight game. 7-7. Denmark really catching up, having 2 good last ends, but also, yeah, taking advantage of a couple of misses of the German team. Daniela Jentsch was taking some risk with her last one, was going for the race takeout with her last and missed it, and got a steal here. But at least keeping the hammer. But they really need to have a good peeling game now to have the eyes open, the house open for her last rock. So what's the game plan now for both teams, Anne?
The game plan's really clear for Denmark. They need traffic in front of the rings. They need to put up guards right on the center line. Get something around into the forefoot at some point. And I think that's a great shot, actually. I thought the call was to come around, but coming up short and tapping it into the rings really makes that shot playable.
So you create a situation where you can maybe hit it with the next one. Yeah,
you can hit it on lead second.
So we have a win here. The first for Anna Kopeshkovar and her squad, 9-5 versus Latvia. Home crowd is happy. Lots of kids coming in here to the Koszutka Arena in Pilsen, Czech Republic. Just 1 hour west of Prague, the capital. So that was what they were going for. That maybe hit this one, but still some risk. Some guard in the way, or you also can play on your own. I mean, it's half open. You can really go for it.
Yeah, I think this is the call.
So you cannot hit the guard yet. So that's why, because still free guard zone rule is on. It's just the 4th stone in this end.
Yeah, but she can hit the one she ticked into the rings. She ticked it into the field of play, the scoring area. And nicely played.
It could stick somehow as a biter. I don't know why they were sweeping it, but that's
Yeah, they could have just been making some room for their peels, just keeping rocks away. But if you do keep one around the rings, it allows you the freedom to hit and roll out maybe later, as you've got your winning point somewhere. Denmark's still in a really nice situation here. This rock touches the forefoot somewhere, underneath cover. And then they throw 5 guards.
Oh, well played.
Really well played.
And that's about, we witness quite often, like when the momentum changes in this game, like you have a big lead before, like the Germans had in this game, and then Denmark probably is not really believing in that they have a chance in this. And they suddenly come back in the game and they keep on playing, placing the stones, and Germany is really now in the chasing position to really, come on, we were about to lose the game because our shots are not coming the way we really wanted. So, and then things happen like this.
I was not sure why she was playing the peel that way. This is, you know,
probably the more difficult side. You could go for the easy peel from the other side,
and leave your red rock in front of the rings.
They were going for the more difficult one, trying to maybe get rid of both of them.
And they're trying to get a lot of production out of it, but you really didn't need it. You needed a fairly simple, and that left a short run back for you if you needed it. Now that short run back's gone. Nice shot, well-positioned guard. And Germany's going to elect to go for the ones in the rings because they're available to them. I think this is a good choice. Good news for Denmark is that there's still going to be a guard in front of the rings.
Oh. Yep. Yep. Oh. Yep. Yeah. Height.
It's like sorry, I was a little bit emotional, but on this, like, they were really ho and yes and no, and then they were too late on this. They were just really not on the stone right away. And if you're doing that, they really have to be prepared. And that's another sign for some. They're really, not very self-confident in the way of, because they feel a little bit throwback to the Europeans 2 weeks ago, was running the same thing. They had some opportunities, they had some big leads, and they couldn't make it. So at least they were peeling off the guard.
Yes. This sits a little long. And that may leave the shot stone on the button open from.
Müssen den wegbewegen. Komm, langsam. Bumper.
So the call is now bumper weight, control takeout weight to get rid of the shot rock here. It's too close to the button. It's about Amira Appes. She's the alternate usually on this team. She's replacing Josephine Oppermann. Oh, they need really a curl.
Starting to curl. Looks good.
Super.
Deep breath.
Yeah, deep breath. Another draw right around.
Second stone of Denise Dupont. Come around. Lots of room so far.
Lots of room. Once it starts to break, it breaks pretty hard here, though.
Yeah.
Curls pretty hard.
No. Is it working? I think a little bit short. But still somehow not bad. The angles are not so good for the German team.
Yeah.
I think it's you rather think of peeling the guard or even go behind already, but that's a little bit too early right now in the situation.
Yeah, I think you can really hit that top one in the top 12-foot very thin.
Time?
Now we get a timeout. This is a very pivotal moment. There's a couple of chances, a couple of opportunities for decision making. Their coach, Jack Tyre, will come out and run through some of the options with them.
Wir müssen, wenn beide gehen, müssen wir Nase haben. Fast Nase.
Yeah. That's about it. Daniela Jentsch is calling, like, if we want to go for a double, we really need hole the center. But listen to Jack Tyre, what they're talking about.
But we're probably losing. Oh, well, we could. If we won't make the double anyways.
You don't want the double as long as you're shot back there. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, we would probably just jam it on here.
Right, you're trying to jam it on there. You're not going to get the double. And worst case scenario is you clear off the guard. You know, if you come around and you're just a pinch deep, you're giving them more to play with, right? You know, we can come in if you feel it, but you're still at third stone. I like taking a chance on the one more.
Wie viel siehst du denn? Halb. Mit Bumper oder mit Plus?
I don't drop it too, like,
okay,
make sure
plus?
stuff moving.
Yeah.
No.
Plus, oder?
Like I plus.
Yeah, plus.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is some great advice. They were talking about getting a little careful with weight, and he said, no, you really want to get things moving. You can get things bouncing. You can lose the shooter out of the way. You really just need to make contact with that yellow stone at the top of the 12-foot, right next to the skip's broom. Get things moving.
Even like just peeling off the guard would be not too bad in this situation, but of course if you pass the guard really thin, you have a good opportunity to somehow remove the yellow stones here.
Yeah, and you don't need to remove both of them. You just need to remove the back one that's shot, and open up.
Whoa!
And don't.
A little wide. You can't miss everything.
That's where we're talking about the tolerance before, and then Mira Apes is about to really. And this really runs worse. That's about these things. Yeah. Rather go on the guard instead of being wide on this one.
Yeah.
Gut, es wird alles an ihr hängen bleiben. Held oder Arschloch, Held oder Arschloch.
I don't translate this one.
Nein, das ist überhaupt nicht schön. Und ich meine, ich habe die Entscheidung mit dem Runback fürs Team getroffen. Und das war der größte Fehler, den ich hätte machen können.
She's just also recapping a little bit that she was like, I want to go for a run back in the end before, and sorry, in the 8th end. No, it was the 9th end, of course. Run back, giving up the steal here.
Yeah.
She said, "Oh, I rather should go for the draw," but that's too late now. You're not talking about this. You have to go now.
You have to talk
focus.
about what's now. And actually, you know, the German skip needs to be thinking about, I'm still going to have the button wide open to me. It's a tie game. I have the last rock. And if Madeline Dupont and the Denmark team hides a rock, it's going to be on the side of the 4-foot. So you're going to have a shot. it's
this is a little bit short. So here's your opportunity. Now you have to switch, I would say.
Yep.
Now go attack, place your shot rock. Maybe you can win even with this rock. So the angles are not too bad for the German side.
Ich denke, wir brauchen das. Weil wir müssen ja dann zum Schluss erst über die Center, oder?
So they need a shot really in the forefoot now.
And they need to be on the top of the forefoot. They need to be on the top of the forefoot. They can even show a little bit, interestingly. They could show a little bit, but they need to be...
just avoid that there's a chance for Denmark to run probably from their own, from the yellow to the red. But we'll wait now. So the draws so far okay. She only played 5, but still quite good court on this. So let's see. Come around. Top 4. That's the task for Daniela Genç. It's her first in this 10th end. And the weight is not looking so solid. And
sweepers are working hard.
They really have to work it, and it's a little bit short as well. A lot of pressure now on the table. Danish team probably didn't expect that they even have a chance in this game.
Yeah, and all of a sudden they are shot stone. One rock left.
Den køler helt vildt lige nu, så jeg kan jo godt få den rundt her. Det optimale ville vel være sådan her omkring, ikke? Med halv rundt. Fordi hvis den ligger lige på linje med den anden, så har hun sådan der klonk, klonk, og har noget at fyre den ned mod. Og den er sgu svær den vej, når det er, at hun skal ramme, så har hun en god vinkel der, ikke? Der ligger sådan sort vind på.
I think they just have to go around this red and same shot, probably just stretching the forefoot, something like that, make it really difficult to somehow come around with the draw.
Hvis den ligger den her, så har hun åben hele vejen ned til den der. Jeg tror, vi bliver nødt til at komme ind. Ja, det tror jeg. Og gør den sådan her, så må det være det. Nej, så har hun alt for meget plads her.
Yeah, as we get a look at the amount of time, the amount of thinking time left for one shot. 4 minutes, 50 seconds so far for Denmark. The time clock's not a danger, no rush. Madeleine Dupont has lots of time to discuss her options.
Så vi fejrer den derind. Så det vil sige, hvis den lige akkurat klikker.
Also, it's very important to not over-talk these situations, to keep the game rhythm. Sometimes you see a lot of talking going on, and the energy somehow sneaks away, and then you somehow lose your rhythm of play.
Yeah, so she just wants to make sure everyone understands her options. Now she needs to focus back in on her shooting process, set her rhythm, commit to the weight, set herself, commit to the slide, and have a really nice clean release that her sweepers can read and communicate the weight down the ice and position this last rock. Just heavy. She ended up rushing after all of that.
Yeah, that's really heavy. Oh, whoa. She really overthrew this one. So, I was wondering why, but I think it was just the line outside. I think the sliding passes, fresh pebble, they just ran over it. So that should be a signal to Daniela Genç now. She has a quite okay situation getting out here. It's just an open draw to the forefoot, quite open draw.
Yeah.
But make sure that you're, of course, she had the one was too short. Now she has to put a little bit more speed on, but you could see what happened.
She might not need much more speed because she only needs about 2 more feet of distance. So, and with the pebble being a little fresher, a little keener or faster out in this path.
Don't think about what could happen. Just focus on what you play now. Split line looks okay. It stays outside, they say. It's the same pass, maybe. And it keeps on going. It keeps on going, and that's heavy as well. It's
really
heavy as well. Oh, whoa, whoa. No, no, no. That's the fast lane here. Again, they should have taken notice of the Danish stone. It's not enough. So Denmark is really stealing away this win of Germany. Having good games, good ends. End number 8 and end number 9. And Denmark, the lucky winner here. And Germany, hard to say, but throwing away their advantage in this game.
Yeah, truly frustrating loss for the German team.
Well, that's a really tough loss. Anyway. So that was our featured game. A really not close win at all, like a 9-0 win. China versus Finland. After 6 end, it was over. Second win for China, first game for Finland, so they have 5 more to go. And I'll show you some highlights of this game here. It's fourth end, a really difficult one. The attempt from Ona Kauste to somehow get her red one shot. She tried to tap back, but it was hardly possible. And another steal here. Leads to a 6-0 lead. And then in the 5th end, a really difficult draw to the button. The weight was good. And the line at the beginning too, but in the end it overcurls a little bit, and they were on the yellow here, and they needed to measure this one, and in the end, yeah, the yellow was better. So comfortable lead here, and the 6th end, another draw to the button attempt, and this was also with a good line, but in the end just too quick, went over it, and then, yeah, Finland said, no, that makes no sense anymore. Congratulations to China. Regrouping for the next game for Finland. It's against Italy in the afternoon. So the other scores, a win for Czech Republic, 9-5 versus Latvia. And then we did see the tough loss for Germany against Denmark, second win for Denmark. And second loss for Germany. And on the table, in the lead, China and then Denmark, both 2 wins. Then all with 1 win, 1 loss is Czech Republic, Latvia, and then Germany down with already 2 losses. Still chances, you have to keep on going. Italy had the bye this round, will play Finland in the afternoon game.
Bingyu, congratulations on that win. How important was it to get that big of a win this early in this event?
I think this this competition we real want to play well, and it's important for every team. But you win this game, it's absolutely build your confidence. So we just hope we can play our way and feel more confidence, more comfortable. Yeah.
You looked like you were playing very aggressive, lots of rocks in play, and managing that quite well. Will you take that style of game into your next against Latvia?
No, I think we just tried a different way and try to find our way and play comfortable. And today it's play more rocks, and yesterday we played just like regular. And we hope we can play well, and it doesn't matter how many rocks in the house. Yeah.
And how exciting would it be for you to go to another Olympic Games?
Oh, it's so exciting, and it's a chance here, and you play, and maybe you can go again and the third times. But we focus right now, and one rock at a time and one game at a time.
Great. Again, congratulations. Really well played.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, that's it for now. Thanks for listening. Oli Kapp and Anders Wilsam say goodbye. See you next round, 12 p.m.
Hyvä peli. Ei tässä ollut mitään hyvää.